from the many realms of Atheros to the distant reaches of the 13th via the magic of podcasting. This is episode 47 of A Podcast Reborn. It's a show celebrating our journey in the past, present, and possible future of Final Fantasy XIV. This episode is being recorded on Sunday, January 14th of 2024. My name is Brian Black, otherwise known as Ro, and folks, I can't wait to say this. I am stoked about the announcement of Pictomancer as a new job for Dawntrail. Having been a Final Fantasy VI fan for decades, I can say without a doubt that this job is a realm reborn. Hey, you know, this has been the first week and months that I've played more Final Fantasy XIV than Baldur's Gate 3. We're back, baby!
Woo!
With me to kick off the year, as always, are my two awesome co-hosts. First, we have our Chaos Gremlin, VTuber, Cat Mom, Webtoon artist, and a friend to all beavers on the internet. Hi, Megan.
Hi. You can take that in both meanings.
Double entendre? Absolutely.
I mean, obviously, I'm talking about Against the Storm, right?
Obviously.
Yeah, and Timberborn. It's like that situation of like, oh, if I had a nickel for every beaver featuring real-time strategy game I had, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
And of course, the laugh that you hear with her is our old man machinist, blogger, and dad joke mancer who doesn't have to tell anyone to get off his lawn today because it's too damn cold to be out there. Hi, Brandon.
It is incredibly cold down here. We're looking at 6 degrees, and guess what? Snow's coming. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let me be the first to give a very warm welcome to our esteemed guest tonight. And hi to all you people who don't play Dark Knight as well. Get it? Because it's called a Steam.
I'm just blinking rapidly.
I was proud of that one.
9 out of 10.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. Okay, it has been a month. We've had a new year. As you are listening to this, 6.55 is currently out. We're on the other side of the maintenance for that. Right now, we're recording this hours before 24 hours of maintenance. But hey, there's going to be more anime bullshit with Hildebrand headed your way. Lots more to do. Wrap-ups for the tribal quests, tons of other stuff. And we get to see what the requirement is for the final stage of the relic. Spoiler alert, I bet you it's 1,500 tombstones.
Maybe not. Maybe, yeah, it is.
The only thing I could think of that they might add to that is, and you have to beat the new trial.
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
big whoop.
Yeah.
If they do gate completion of it behind like something drops from the trial and it's like you have to get one of those per weapon, I guess that would be okay. But
yeah,
as long as it's not just one that we all have to roll on, because that's garbage.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Not something like that. That'd be that it's the forms would be in flames.
That would be called like the guild breaker, the static breaker.
And also, Yoshi P, if you're listening, I know there's no possible time you have left to change this, but do not gate it behind the extreme.
I would laugh so hard. I'm sorry. I would be
every step all the way up to now has been so easy, and then they say, "Oh yeah, you gotta beat the extreme trial to get your relic."
I don't know. At this point, I'm just trying to hedge my bets.
I've got a fun story to tell. A friend of mine who shall remain nameless to protect themselves. I was very proud of a big achievement that they got just a day or two ago. They realized new patch was coming up, and the clock was ticking. So they went from having done no PvP content since 6.5 came out to getting enough points to get that new slumber emote.
Oh my god.
Because, clock's ticking, right?
Oh shit, I forgot about that!
Well, here's the thing, though. The thing is, you've got plenty of time. They were under the impression that they only had until 6.55. You have until Dawntrail launches to get that.
Yes, continued procrastination. That failed me before.
And to the person who got this, who I'm protecting by not mentioning their name, all I can say is congratulations. You are far more hardcore PvPer than I will ever be.
There's never a bad time for murder.
You see, there you go. You've got Megan on your side. So,
oh my goodness.
I don't know. I really like Final Fantasy PvP. I think that they have it down to like a science. I think it's probably because Yoshi P actually plays it, so they have to make sure that it's good. But yeah, I really like the button simplification. Like I wish that more, I don't know, MMOs or whatever would do that, especially when you're like, because the button bloat is such a problem, and it's also like, oh, part of it is like, hey, can we just like have it like this like most of the time? Although I know they're like, no, we need our super complicated rotations so that like all the hardcore people can feel like they got big brain. I'm like,
and the funny thing is like compared to some MMOs, Final Fantasy actually handles button blow pretty well compared to some.
Yeah, it's true. Well, they redo it like every expansion, and a lot of MMOs are just like, oh, now you do 10 levels and you get like 5 more spells. Like, oh, are you going to combine some of the old ones, get rid of the old? Nope. No.
I'm really curious how they're going to treat some of the classes at level 100. I mean, you know, they'll probably take an ability out and update some, change the rotation a little bit and such like that. But as a summoner, I really want to know, am I getting a new Eggy to cast, or are we just changing the rotation, or what? Because I'm really hoping to see, like, I don't know, maybe Eggy Odin, Eggy Alexander.
I think like we'll probably get a new like final summon, and they'll probably do something wherein like it just, you know how like Bahamut changes to the Phoenix. They'll just throw a third one in there. And it'll have some new ability, like, that's not healing. That's honestly what I think will happen. I think that we got our big shiny remake, and like, now they're like, cool, you're good. Done.
I continue to hold out eternal hope that we finally get the other 3 elemental Eggies, and they'll just end up replacing not Bahamut, Garuda, Ifrit, and Titan. So we'll do Bahamut, we'll do the old 3, then we'll do Phoenix, and then we'll get the new guys.
Yeah, it'd be cool if it just because I don't want more buttons. I want my buttons to change into other things.
Yeah, I'm guessing we're going to have a whole lot of either this level you get something that adds a charge, a whole lot of you get a trait that increases potencies, or a whole lot of here's a new ability, but you don't put it on your hotbar. This other thing turns into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I want. Because I don't think I feel like a lot of other MMOs don't do that either. Where like there's a lot of like procs and there's a lot of like building combos, but there's not a lot of you do this and it turns these buttons into a different thing. And I'm like, that's a good way to do it without taking up, 5 action bars.
True. Well, we do have a ton of stuff that we can dive into, but really quick here before we feast on FanFest, Megan, what have you been up to? And at the very least, how's that MSQ redo playthrough going with your friends?
It's going well. We're in Azisla now. We are about to go into the dungeon. Last time that we played last night, and it was literally like, oh, we're about to go watch a bunch of MSQ, and our friend had to go to bed, so we were like, dang it. But yeah, we just saw the Ysael sacrifice cutscene, which I forgot when. I remembered that happened. I just forgot like when it happened.
Yeah,
like And like, so that kind of caught me off guard because I was like, yeah, we did it. We were like making jokes about the etheric ram is like bright pink. So it really looks like Estinian is showing, like, I showed you my pink horn, please respond. And we're like, oh, okay, buddy.
God.
So that was fun. And yeah, that's pretty much all I've done in Final Fantasy's login. Oh no, wait, I logged in with my raid team too. We're not really doing any raiding. We logged in and we were like, we're gonna do what's like the previous end boss, the vampire guy.
Esperos?
Vampire Daddy. Yeah, we were planning to do that, but then like some people couldn't show up, so we just didn't, and we ended up playing Lethal Company instead.
Oh,
so
I can only imagine what playing Lethal Company with you is like.
Oh, I fall in a pit every time. I'm really like, you know how I say like I hate doing fucking platforming at the Golden Saucer. Like imagine that, but like you die. That is me playing Lethal Company. Like and my friends are like, it's really funny because it's got the proximity voice. You literally hear me go ah when you fall in a fucking pit.
For anyone not super connected with Twitch and the YouTubes and stuff like that, Lethal Company is a 4-player salvage game. It's like the simplest way to put it, but it's also kind of a scary game too.
It's sort of okay. So it's like you are on a spaceship, you land on a planet, you have your 4 friends, and you are working for a company wherein you go in and you find materials and you bring them back to the ship to bring to the company. But there are like a bunch of SCP monsters loose in the area, and so you have to like find. I get eaten a lot too. That's the other thing that happens is I get eaten on the fucking ladder back into the ship. It happened like 4 times. Where
do you like Weeping Angels? Because they have some of those. Do you like Alma from Project Fear? She's in there too.
We had to deal with giant. Well, it was really funny because we finally saved up enough money for shovels.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a shovel, but like Warren and our friend are up in front of me and they're like, there's a spider, like, okay, we're gonna do it. And then they're just both like, just run in and start smacking it with their shovels. And like they killed the spider, but our friend got killed and like wrapped up in webs, so it looked like he was a giant blunt. So there was no treasure behind the spider. He died for nothing. So we just, pick him up and bring him back to the ship, and then we're like, we're gonna smoke you.
Oh my gosh.
That's what it's like playing Lethal Company with us. We're really bad at it, and you will attempt to smoke your corpse. Yeah.
Sounds like a fun time.
Yeah, also, my webtoon, my latest webtoon episode, got removed for too much butt cheek. So
I wondered what happened to that.
It was too spicy, huh?
It has too much butt cheek. I can no longer, Titty Kitty cannot wear a thong. I have to draw very obvious underpants or a bikini bottom. It cannot be a thong anymore. And I'm like, but it's a funny butt. They don't, I can't like, there's no way for me to, what do you call it, appeal. I can't appeal it. I just have to like redo it. So they have not yet deleted it again, but I put bottoms. I put no more thong, no more butt.
Shame on you, Webtoon, for continuing to give in to the war on sex via internet commercialization.
Well, it's also like violence is okay, but not a butt.
Yeah, that's it. That is just the continued dichotomy of morals among people. Well, it's just astonishing to me, but I don't. It's like, we probably don't need to get into this.
My comic already has like a adult only like warning, I don't know. And I'm also just like used to other webcomic stuff that like they don't care. You can do whatever. But yeah, no butts. No full on butts. My friend who has been doing webcomic or webtoons a lot longer than me was like, yeah, they're really weird about it. And like you can't like imply that your characters are naked, and like I'm like, oh god, all right. I don't know. I'm figuring it out. Plus, I was pushing it. it was definitely a full butt. Fine. No more full butts. Gotcha. But yeah, she's like, yeah, there's like unspoken rules about like what you could, like your character can be nude, but it has to be like covered up, but like it can't be like sexy covered up. It has to be like, I'm like, what?
Massively obvious censor bars.
Yeah. She's like, well,
it has to be like the blanket in bed has to be up to your neckline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you advertise the uncensored version on your Patreon. It's just a butt.
But hey, for $5 a month, you can see that ass.
You can see the butt. I made it very shiny. Okay, it is a shiny butt. So yeah, that's what I've been up to this week.
Brandon, can you top that?
No, I cannot. I've also been releveling the MSQ on my alt on the new servers. I just finished, probably like 15 minutes before we started recording this episode, I think it was the 2.3 patch stuff. We're into 2.4, so we're moving into dealing, with the first time with Shiva and Iceheart and all that good stuff. So I've mostly just been, redoing the MSQ on him just to see what all I'd forgotten. I forgot that some of the voice acting in the patches got noticeably improved. Like, what the heck is her name? Nanamo does not sound like a whiny child half the time anymore. It's only some of the time. Just a whole lot of people who had, just a whole lot of people who had really weird voice acting throughout the base game noticeably improved, and I don't know what the heck happened there, but I'm still just waiting for the moment when everyone's voices switch over to what we're used to and familiar with.
Oh yeah. Well, it was really funny with my friends because like they liked Alphino's original voice, and I'm like, yeah, okay, it's fine. It's not as bad as I remember. Or I just feel like it doesn't suit him as I know him now. But I also feel like he was a snotty little brat, so that voice did kind of suit him back then. But it's funny for him to just like get bitch slapped so hard that his voice falls out and he becomes a whole other person.
Alphino was a little brat. Fitting that he was voiced by Sam Riegel. I'm kidding, Sam. If you're listening to this, I love you. Just had to make the joke.
But the whole time we were playing it, we're like, yeah, a teenager should definitely have his own paramilitary company. Why not? And then it went badly, and my friends were like, oh, I didn't see this coming.
This is fine. Everything's fine.
Oh my god. Siri, shut up.
Even Siri doesn't understand. Are you kidding me?
I swear. It was my watch. It's like, sometimes the little knob on the side gets pressed, and then Siri's like, I'm listening, master. And I'm like, no, shut up.
Go away.
Why would they make it so that the button that gets pressed by my hand sometimes summons the robot? No, she's doing it again.
Yeah, aside from that, I did start a 4-player multiplayer game in Baldur's Gate 3, so
nice.
That's been fun.
Playing with anyone I know?
No, just some folks from the small group within our free company that I hang out with most of the time.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good, evil, middle of the road.
Now we're going mostly good. We're actually fighting over who romances who, so that's fun. You will take my Karlach when you pry her from my cold, dead blue dragonborn hands. Which is going to be very easy because I'm playing a wizard.
Yeah, they just gotta tire you out.
I've gone down. We have barely played any of the games just because it's a pain in the butt trying to schedule 4 people to play this. Hey, just like real D&D.
Right.
So we've barely gotten anything done, and I've already gone down in a couple of fights twice.
Oh my god.
Oof. Yeah.
It
Wizards
be like that.
Sounds like a skill issue there.
It probably is.
Well, especially if you're coming from a tougher class, you don't really know where to stand.
Not really. My other two most hours playthroughs are with a sorcerer and a warlock.
I cannot count on 6 hands how many times I've had to cast a healing spell on Gale because he was unconscious. So I get it.
Mm-hmm. I just bring Gale along so he can embiggen Karlach. He's like, I'm a woman embiggener. Like, yep, that's your goal. That's your purpose. He's like, oh, what is my life?
As far as what I've been doing, like I said earlier on, I've actually been playing more Final Fantasy 14 than Baldur's Gate 3. There is a little bit of a catch there, though. It's still not the number one game I've been playing in the next couple of weeks. But Baldur's Gate 3 is now number 3 and Final Fantasy 14's too. I've actually been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 7 Remake. I played it and beat it when it came out 3 years ago. But it's crazy to believe it was 3 years ago, by the way. I am playing it again because on my PS5, which I did not have back then, on my PS5, I do not have a save file for completion on Remake. And if you have a save file with completion, you get an extra bonus materia, like the Rama materia. So yes, for a single materia, I am playing an entire game from beginning to end again.
When does the next chapter of the remake due out again?
That is in 1 month and 15 days.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And counting. And I still haven't played the Yuffie part of it in the intergrade.
Intergrade? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm probably going to play that just a few days before Rebirth launches. Because I know that she's playable in Rebirth, and I'm very stoked about Rebirth. I've watched trailers and previews of stuff, and like, as good as I thought Remake was, Rebirth is looking like it could blow Remake out of the water, which is impressive to say the least. Like, just the amount of content that this game is going to have is stupid.
I'm also looking forward to it, but it's going to be a while before I can get to it because I'm going to have to wait for freaking income tax refunds before I can afford a PS5.
Yeah. The whole exclusivity thing. Although nothing's been officially confirmed or anything like that, but they have said that games are being like console exclusive for shorter periods of time. Now it seems like instead of 1 year, a lot of games are going to like 3 month or 6 month exclusivity things. So who knows?
Hallelujah is all I can say to that.
Yeah, we have like a Switch, and that's about it. And we pretty much bought it as an Animal Crossing machine. So.
You too, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly why I called 4 different Costco's looking for one, was just so my wife could play Animal Crossing during the pandemic.
Yeah, man. Oh, that was a lifesaver. I gotta say.
I had not heard of Animal Crossing until the pandemic.
Oh, wow, really?
For real?
Yep.
I played New Leaf. New Leaf, is that what it's called? The one that was on the DS? I played that one a lot.
I don't remember.
It was, I played that one a shit ton because you could make your own clothes. Like, because of the DS stylus, you could, like, draw on the screen to, like, do the patterns and stuff. I was really into that. And, like, you had, like, a little, like, a train station town. I don't remember. But, yeah, I don't know. I really like New Horizons. It's a lot of fun. It's just, it's true that the animals don't seem to have as much personality as they used to. Because, like, they used to be mean to you. They don't do that anymore. And it doesn't feel like you're earning anything if they're just nice to you from the start, you know? Like, I don't know. But, yeah.
You want your tsundere little bunny animal?
Hell yeah, I do.
I did do the Heaven's Turn event. I got small fortune for I forget how you pronounce it.
Yeah, did I post it? Did I post mine in this?
I think you did.
I felt like personally attacked by it. I'm trying to remember what it said that like called me out so specifically.
I've been focusing so much on my third alt that I completely forgot to do that on any of my other characters. So I know what I'm doing as soon as we're done recording. So
I was going to say you have literally 7 like 8 hours and change. So
yep.
So yeah, I did that. I've done some roulettes, getting my tombstone count up a bit. Although I will say, if the tombstones if it's 1,500 tombstones for the relic on Tuesday, I will not be getting the relic on day one if that's all there is to do it. So I've actually given myself something to do so that I don't get the relic on Tuesday and be like, okay, now what do I do? I've got a goal to work toward. Done variant dungeon stuff. I got the status mount, the flying fairy from the island variant dungeon.
No, nice.
Yep, did the secret boss for that. The ceremony, the ritual that you have to do to go into the final path of that variant dungeon is the most ridiculous, convoluted set of steps I've ever seen. It's like you take this one path, you make these couple of choices, and then you get to this room with 3 statues. You have to stand in front of a statue, say this line, type it. You have to type out this line and say text, and it has to be exact. If you make a typo or a punctuation mistake, it's not going to work. After you say that statue lights up. Then you have to do a clockwise or counterclockwise circle a certain number of times, depending on what statue it is. Then do an emote. Then you gotta do something similar but different with the other 2 statues. And if you mess up one part of it, you have to start all over.
Oh my god! How long did
it took me 5 minutes just to perform the ritual.
How long did it take people to figure this out?
1 day, apparently. Because here's the thing. It's like all the steps for the ritual are the clues and stuff are found in the book entries when you complete all the other paths.
Oh, okay. So there's
in the description there, you get hints for what you have to say and do for the ritual. Yeah.
Okay.
I still hate it. I lose my fucking mind. Are you kidding me?
I mean, you can do what I did, and I Google food it. I didn't look at the descriptions. I just went to a Google page and be like, okay, just tell me the stupid ritual. Okay, copy, paste. All right, do a couple of dances around the thing. Rosy row, foot in, foot out. Okay, bow emote. Great. Next statue, blah, blah, blah. Rinse, wash, repeat. And final boss. The bosses in this last variant dungeon were all right. The difficulty was like just fine as far as I feel like it wasn't vanilla easy, but it wasn't super complicated either. I'd actually would even consider trying the Criterion version of this one. It was pretty fun. The fight with the fairy. Have either of you 2 done that variant dungeon?
Nope.
The fight.
It's trying to get me to do it. I'm just.
So a few of the paths you fight the fairy that's also that ends up being the mount. It's as a mount, she picks you up by the back of your neck.
Yeah.
For some it looks like she's actually strangling you. It's funny. But yeah, when you fight, so she has a gun.
Jesus.
And it is a fairy with a gun, and the gun is actually an important mechanic in the fight. Because she reloads her gun, it's a 6-shooter, and she reloads each bullet. She reloads bullet by bullet, and she counts out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have to listen for 2 noises, and they're timed with her saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the 2 times you hear the bloop noise, that's how you know, okay, that number and that number, that part of the field is safe to be on. So it's an audio call out instead of just being a visual call out. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, they do that sometimes.
That's absolutely wild.
But
yeah, it's a fun fight.
Fairies are in canon the spirits of children, so they gave a child a gun.
And whoopee cushions. There are legit whoopee cushions in that fight too.
It's like, yeah, I'm gonna pull a prank on you. Pulls out a gun, like, whoa, that's not a prank.
I mean, this fight basically encapsulates Final Fantasy in a nutshell. Really, fairies, guns, and whoopee cushions.
Oh my god.
All we gotta do is put Megan in it, and you have the cat girl anime stuff, and you there you go. Yeah.
That's the secret ingredient.
Cat girls?
No,
I
anime
mean,
waifus. They
pretty
don't have
much.
to be cat girls, but they have to be anime waifus.
Uh,
Whether they survive or not. They don't need to be guaranteed to survive. In fact, killing your anime waifus is extremely Final Fantasy.
Speaking of anime waifus, let's talk about one of any number of possible anime waifus from the final complete full Dawntrail trailer. I'm interested in thoughts, feelings, and reactions to everything. I mean, I'll give mine at the end, but I will say this: we were all in Discord when the FanFest thing was going on, and I had made a very bold and dangerous prediction that there was not going to be a reveal of female Hrothgar. At which point, Megan, you recall what you said?
No, what did I say?
You said you were going to blame me if it happened.
Oh yeah, that's right. Aren't you glad that you don't? You're not to blame for once.
It's not your fault.
It's not my fault. But how happy were you with the final trailer, Megan?
I really liked the final trailer. Actually, my two favorite things were obviously Kryl, fucking adorable, throwing her Lisa Frank butterflies on everybody and summoning a giant blob bunny monster. I'm like, "Grr!" And the other thing I loved from the trailer was actually how freaking adorable Alphino looked. He's so jazzed, and I'm like, oh, this poor baby. He's been through so much. He deserves vacation.
You're the first person to speak of Alphino positively, at least from what I've heard. It's like
what?
all the reactions I see of people who see Alphino on that part of the reaction, it's like, man, is that guy ever going to grow up? It seems like he gets younger with every trailer they come out with, though.
He does. True. He really does.
But remember, he spent like how many months with his soul outside of his body or whatever? I feel like that fucked with everybody's aging. Like that's gonna give them longer but I think that now that I think the next expansion after this, or maybe even mid-patch, will just have like Alpha Bro show up. That because they're always like, oh yeah, Ellison, they look like babies, and then they go through a huge growth spurt like suddenly. And so I imagine it would be fucking hilarious if like we had to separate Alphino for like a week, and he comes back like normal male Ellison model. That would I would die.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that, because to me, it seemed like Alice looked more mature than Alphino in the trailer.
She did. But she's waifu bait, so.
In some states and countries, illegal waifu bait. But
the thing is, like, I don't see Alice that way, but I see them. I watch enough anime to know that they're like, hey, if she's older than 10.
Oh Lord.
Like, I don't agree with it, but like, I see what they're doing.
You're not doing anything to ameliorate my eternal hate for anime at this point. You know that, right?
Yeah, well, that's like the big problem with it. That's the big issue with anime is the underage stuff. I think it's just super exacerbated by the fact that they refuse to make a story that's not set in high school. And then they're like, oh yeah, these kids are in junior high school, but we gotta have the sexy fan service girl. And it's like, no, they're 12. No, don't do it. It's like when they're 14, you're kind of like, well, it could be worse. But
please send all of your hate comments to Megan at A Podcast Reborn.
Look, it's like, you know, like when you really like something and you just have to like overlook like one thing. and sometimes you just can't. There are a lot of anime that I just cannot watch because I'm like, no. One of them, fucking Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Do not ever fucking watch that show. It's horrible for this. And they do the whole like, no, she's a 1,000-year-old dragon in the body of a 10-year-old girl, so that makes it okay. And also, she has giant tits. It's like, no!
No.
Fucking.
I'm like Nuke It from Orbit. Nuke It from Orbit! Oh, that one's awful. That one is truly, truly fucking awful.
So about that female Hrothgar.
Yes, let's please talk about
Yes, I would
her.
like to speak of women with large muscles. And, yeah, I feel like
they
I'm
actually
the
released-
person who's happy with them. Like, everybody else I talk to is like, oh, gross, I don't like them. I'm like, maybe my expectations were just extremely low. But I'm just really glad that they didn't, like, I don't know, they didn't make them super skinny, I guess. Like, they have an actual, like, core. They look solid.
I don't dislike them. I feel, though, that they're a little... it feels like they're kind of cheating a bit by... I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like the body type, I'm not talking the face, but just the rest of the body type, is practically female row, right?
Yeah. But I figured that's what they were going to do, because male Hrothgar are just male row with the head, like, tilted forward.
Yeah, I felt like they could have used an even somewhat beefier skeleton, like not like male row skeleton, but somewhere in between fem row and male row.
I just figured that they weren't going to do that, because even they're like, the only one that I feel like isn't based on something is the male Viera, and like people were so clamoring for those that I feel like they felt like they had to bring their A game, or maybe there's just somebody who's really invested in femboys. I don't know.
Sure.
They need someone on the team who's really invested in muscle mommies, because they could be a lot beefier. I agree. But I really did not, like, this is pretty much exactly what I was expecting. I was like, they're going to be a female row body type. They're going to, it's going to be like the sexual dimorphism is going to be about the same as male row and female row. And I'm also like, I love this game, but it is extremely allergic to masculine women.
Yeah,
like,
unfortunately, you are correct.
Even the ones that, like, we stand as like a mask queen is still very femme.
Merleweb.
Like Merleweb. Like, she still has the delicate features and the tapered waist and like the makeup and everything. And like, also just like, they're like, here are male rows. They are literally a brick. And like, here are female rows. They are a sexy lady who has a little bit of muscle mass and like body fat distribution on them. And it's like, these are not the same. You see how these are not the same, right? And I'm like, we have sexy we have like typical anime body type sexy ladies in the game. We have them. You don't need to keep making them. Give us something else. That is definitely a gripe I have. And so I guess I was just like, this is exactly what I thought they were going to do. So I'm not like disappointed. I feel like a lot of people were like, oh no, it's Femme Hrothgar. They're really going to break the mold this time. And I'm like, why would you think that they're going to do that? They have not implied in any way that they're going to do something different this time, because it's like, if you look at their body shape like in a vacuum and you don't think about how beefy the male Hrothgar are, like, I kind of wish they had made the male Hrothgar closer to the females than make the females closer to the males, if that makes sense. Like,
somewhat.
Like, they were still beefy, but not quite so brick shithouse wall. And then they could go, like, bring down the sexual dimorphism, but instead of making the girl big, make the guy smaller. I don't know. I think that would be cool. But
have a bit more parity between them.
Yeah, and also, I was a big fan of like Final Fantasy X, and like that's what the Ronso were like, was that they looked like muscular dudes, but they didn't look like super wide. They looked fairly proportional. They also had upright necks, Yeah. So
it seems like the females don't have a posture problem, though.
No, they don't. And so, like, the females look properly like what I imagined the Hrothgar from like 10 being translated into 15 would look like, because they never do weird feet. I don't know why. They're allergic to weird feet. Which I'm like, you'll do weird heads and they're not allowed to wear hats, but you won't do weird feet.
Oh, but then think about all the barefooted female Hrothgar there'd be.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there will be anyway. But anyway. Well, it's also just funny, like, coming from World of Warcraft, where we had like trolls and Draenei and these races that like didn't wear shoes. Now we're in Final Fantasy where certain races don't wear hats. It's like
everyone needs boots.
This is weird. Like, and I'm like, let them have weird cat paw feet. Like that's cool, and that sets them apart. But no, but yeah. I think maybe I like the female Hrothgar because they're upright and they remind me more of the classic Hrothgar that I grew up with, or I knew. So yeah, but everybody that I've talked to has been like, I don't like them. I thought they would be beefier, or I thought they would be cooler, and I'm like, now this is exactly what I was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
Although I kind of hope that they have a muscle tone slider and we can crank that shit all the way up.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Brandon, any female Hrothgar thoughts, feelings?
Pretty much nothing that Megan hasn't already said. I've heard a lot of similar responses to them. I think they looked great. I think they came out better than I had feared that they would come out. I was honestly expecting them to pull an Al Ra and make them tiny, adorable kittens.
Oh, thank God that didn't happen. I would have.
Yeah, I would have been extremely upset. So I'm looking forward to trying one out. I'm looking forward to learning more about this character in the Dawntrail trailer when we meet her in the 6.55 MSQ content.
They did not translate her very well into the cutscene, I don't think.
No,
it seems like the cinematic version of her and the in-game version of her are going to look very, very different.
Yeah, well, it's like they do this thing with the cinematics where they like cutesify everyone.
Yeah,
and like sometimes it works with like Alphino Kryl, and sometimes it just really does not work. But they didn't do it to like Estinian. Estinian looked like Estinian.
Yeah, Alphino looked more like an anime boy than he normally does in the game, and I was very, very thrown off by that.
Maybe it was the voice acting and everything. I thought it was adorable, but also, I just like anime.
Yeah,
I thought Graha looked great. I thought all of them
looked like himself.
Yeah, Graha looked like himself. Y'shtola looked like herself. Friggin' Urianger looked like himself. Like, they all looked really good. I would say this was probably my favorite cutscene, Thancred, too. Like, he actually looked like Thancred and not like beautiful man Dante. Like, honestly, in Shadowbringers and Endwalker, his cutscene appearances are like, who is this? This isn't Thancred. What the fuck?
This is Thancred?
This is Thancred.
Who is this beautiful man? Get him off my screen. You're teasing me because he doesn't look like this in the game. This is false advertising. Take this down. Which is why I'm like, oh, this is why Thancred has fangirls. Okay. It's cutscene appearance. But he looks like, he does also still just look more mature in the cutscene, obviously, because he still has his 12-year-old boy face model in the game, and I'm like, please, when they're like, more characters are going to get unique models, I'm like, Thancred. Please.
Well, so here's the thing. I have a prediction.
Oh.
I think that any character that you saw in the key art for Dawntrail that they showed at the end of FanFest, I think if anyone in the key art that we've seen before is fair game for like a high res, for a glow up and such like that, because they're getting that whole graphical update going on with like all the backgrounds and textures and stuff. Anyhow, armor and stuff is supposed to look more high res and detailed. So I feel like some of these unique models, especially ones that they think that they're going to use frequently enough, are going to get a touch up.
Yeah, that would be nice. I would like all the Scions to have like unique models, like that we can't get, because I'm sick of seeing 1,000 Graha clones and 500 Y'shtolas running around, and I'm like, no.
I have, weirdly enough, never seen a single Y'shtola cosplayer. Thancred and Graha,
Really?
yeah, out the wazoo.
Yeah.
I've never come across a Y'shtola.
I've seen a
And the
few.
Y'shtola outfit's
Well,
purchasable on the store, right?
I
Yeah,
know.
it is. And I've definitely seen clones, and they usually have really silly ass names of like yish 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 yish, and I'm like, what the fuck? No, stop it! You're not my waifu. Get out of here. But yeah, I do think that it's like Graha is definitely the one that is the most, and I'm like. Also, part of me, well, also, we're like trying to hide the fact that Graha is like super important to our friends. Of like, oh yeah, that catboy, he sure was funny and charming. Well, I guess we'll never see him again. Knowing my friend's like really clever, I'm pretty sure she's gonna put together who the Exarch is in like 0.5 seconds. She's gonna be like, that's the catboy, isn't it? I'm like, he doesn't have a tail. He could be anyone.
I'm excited to. I mean, as excited as I am to, do stuff with some of the characters that we've been, been with since the beginning. I'm ready for 2 or 3 new regulars,
Yeah,
and noticing the key art, since the key art had a few figures in there that were like totally new characters as far as I could tell. I'm hoping that those characters aren't just necessarily expansion only, that whether they become scions or they just become, like regular companions, partners of Meteor, the Warrior of Light and such. We need some new blood.
Yeah, and I think that like we have a habit of like having somebody around for one expansion and then like forgetting about them for a while and then having them come back later. So yeah. I feel like just getting to meet new characters, I'm always like, yeah, well, they'll probably show up again at some point. But I would never have thought that Estinian would come join our group after Heavensward's over, because it's like, yeah, his arc is complete. And now he's gonna hang out in Ishgard, like fixing things. Then when he started showing up in Stormblood, I was like, it's a Stygian in his hobo gear. I was very pleased by it. Especially him and Gaius hanging out. I was like, yeah, who can outbrood who?
So, Green Mage isn't the new job.
Yeah.
But I think
I fucking called it, man. Back when he had the Ninja Turtles shirt on, I was like, I bet it's artists, because they all have like artist names, and they all have like it. So it was like he even said so himself that it was like both jobs, because they had the like weapons, the like 2 swords, and they were all named after artists.
Double swords. Yep.
It was pretty clever. Although you could say it was all 3 jobs, because them being green can also be a hint toward Green Mage. So I thought it was a very, very clever shirt.
And also they're mutated animals, so it's a hint to Beastmaster. Oh,
I'm gonna play Beastmaster so much. I have 0 interest in Blue Mage. I am all over Beastmaster.
I think a lot of people are going to channel their inner Pokemon trainer and be all over Beastmaster.
Yep, my love of hunter pet collecting is feeling it.
It is Jones that I have not, had in so long. And
I remember you, man. I remember when you and Ward on Warcraft Trolls would you talk about all the pets that you were collecting.
Mm-hmm. That was like my number one thing that I would do. I would go. Yep. It was Pandaria had the best pet stuff.
Yes, it did.
The like tracking the pets by the tracks on the ground, and
you had a pink bird named Taco.
I did. That was
this is actually true, Brandon.
Was it the pink crane?
Yeah, pink crane.
Yeah, I got him too. I love that guy. Yep.
God, he was so fucking hard to get. The only way I've ever been able to get him is to like find his trail and then just sit there and repeatedly flare at that spot and wait for him to come by, because I can never actually catch him out of stealth. But I loved it so much that I would just be sitting in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms, like the hub city, and there's a rare pet that runs around outside, and it can be like one of 4 colors or whatever. And I already had all 4. Yeah, I already had all 4 colors. I would just go out and track it down and get it out of stealth, and then I'd start whispering other hunters and be like, "Hey, you have blue Quillen? He's over here. You want to come tame him?" Because I just really enjoyed doing it. And like, oh my god, Ward's great aunt plays World of Warcraft, and she was playing a hunter then, and I would take her and her friend from her knitting club out to tame rare pets. It was great.
That's World of Warcraft for you, bringing all the people from the knitting club out to play nowadays.
Oh man, it was great.
Oh man.
My quick thoughts on Pictomancer is I'm happy it was announced. I'm not disappointed that Green Mage wasn't announced, but I don't think I will be playing Pictomancer.
Really? Why not?
Because oddly enough, Brandon, I really gave it a good long think, and I think I am more interested in leveling Machinist than Pictomancer.
I mean, sure, Machinist is best job, but I mean, are you not going to play it all at some point?
I mean, never say never. I don't think it's going to be the at launch thing. Like when I talked about making the decision between like Green Mage or Machines and stuff like that, I was talking from the viewpoint of what job am I going to play for the MSQ? Like my goal, I'm not planning to necessarily play Summoner for the MSQ of Dawntrail. My goal is to get Machinist up to level in time for Dawntrail, and I'm going to likely be going as Machinist for the MSQ.
Good man.
Yeah, no, I have to Pictomancer. Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, it sounds pretty much like it was tailor-made for you.
Yeah. I saw the freaking paintbrush and I was like, oh, okay.
There's
it's going to be me and my bestie Kryl.
There is a streamer on the Crystal Data Center named the Popoto Artist. And if you are on any server in the Crystal Data Center on Saturday or Sunday, you'll see Shouts advertising that she does 5-minute sketch drawings of your character for free. And it legit is honestly free and stuff. I actually got my sketch done earlier today. But the funny thing is, I watched her reaction to the reveal of Pictomancer. It was precious. It was like, shut up. And she's like, that's me. She couldn't believe that and it's like anyone who does art and stuff like that for Final Fantasy 14, I gotta feel like a Pictomancer job is like a dream come true for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's so cute. I love that it's like my friend is also an artist that I'm doing the whatever. So we told, she didn't want to watch the reveal trailer because she doesn't want any spoilers or anything. But I told her about the job, and she saw the like class video, and she was like, "I'm not really into like the super cartoony like paint splashes and everything." I'm like, I'm super into that. I would love to just draw mustaches on all the villains and be like, "Ha! Now you look dumb," and they're like, "No," and explode. Because we all know what I'm not actually allowed to draw.
Yes.
Let's just say, if I was allowed to just draw whatever I want, I would become the Boobmancer.
Boobmancer.
It's like the big villain of the piece is like, I have you cornered. I'm like, well, what are you going to do with these mommy milkers? So big that they like anchor them to the floor and they can't move.
You think that's an epic chest drop? Take a look at these.
So all the signs are like, oh god, we can't bring you anywhere.
But
it's like Kryl's like, oh, I drew a bunch of butterflies and a happy bunny. What did you draw, Warrior of Light? And I'm like,
It's. I do have a Pictomancer prediction, and I want to throw this out there.
Sure.
I can't remember what it was because it's been a few days since I've watched the trailer again. But that thing that Kryl draws that just kind of like is, jumps in the air and is flying over the bridge.
It's like a giant bunny.
Okay, whatever that was.
No, you're
that's
right.
going to be Pictomancer's LB3.
Yeah, probably. where we just draw a giant bunny and have it smash them.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pastel-colored Spriggan that
Hey,
flies.
Yeah.
I'll take it. It'll be hilarious.
I really want to just completely cover the entire screen with my obnoxious bullshit. I miss that from Red Mage.
I was gonna say we have Red Mage for that right now. Do we need another caster that just covers the screen in obnoxious bullshit?
Yeah, and I don't even have a res. I love when they're like, "Yeah, you're gonna do a lot of support. You're not really a support though." I'm like, "Are you?"
Well, it sounds like Pictomancer is support in the same way that Dancer is support.
Yeah,
like the buffs may be different, but it's like they do things that can buff party members, but it's not like.
I want to do a raid that's like all support classes.
So you'd have Bard, Dancer, Pictomancer, and
one more. Well, it would be funny because it's like everybody is supporting, nobody is getting supported.
How does Pictomancer support?
Wait.
Being better at your job.
I've got it. You have Bard, Dancer, Pictomancer, and then you have Red Mage but Red Mage isn't DPSing. Red Mage is only healing and raising.
Oh my gosh.
Come on. Yeah, Red Mage healing.
It sounds like way too much
for cure.
Oh god. Yeah. It sounds like we're hitting Enrage.
We're almost about time for the episode. There's actually a heck of a lot more I want to talk about, but I'm almost glad that we didn't, because in a nutshell, I will say on the next episode, I really want to talk about what the hell is this expansion? Because there are things that they showed in the Fan Fest. I will give you 4 words that sum up me going, what? Solution 9, Cosmic Exploration.
Oh, we're taking a detour to Night City.
Heck yeah, let's do it.
We're gonna go visit fucking V.
Those are cyberpunk references if you don't understand.
Just hope there's no pants glitches, all right? Because
oh my gosh.
Well, let's hope that they picked up all the dildos thrown around everywhere too.
That's the weapon out of the dungeon.
Oh no!
They call it like the purple carrot.
Oh, please. Oh.
But I definitely want to talk about like story theories and stuff based on what we saw in FanFest on their episode. But before we wrap up, anything big from the Fans Best thing that jumped out that you two were like hyped, stoked, want to talk about?
I mean, pretty much I'm super hyped. Should get my barely indistinguishable graphics upgrade. I like my slightly higher quality cat girls. Like, honestly, yes, I can. As an artist, I can absolutely tell the difference. But I feel like in gameplay, it's going to be so negligible. Like, it's going to be great for the G-Pose gang, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be fit. I'm very excited about the environments and the lighting, and probably the hair is what we're going to see the most as players. But especially with the fucking Lalafell when we were in Vegas and they were like, oh yeah, see, this is the first iteration. And then here's the 3rd iteration. And as you can see, we fixed the polygons on the cheek. And I'm like, bitch.
They were playing for time on that one.
Just a little.
I mean, unless I feel like I'm glad they're making the changes, but I feel like unless you are playing on a 4K monitor, a lot of this is going to go underappreciated. Probably. Like, they're putting a lot of time and effort into it, and I don't know if the returns are going to necessarily be worth it.
I think that they already had really great character models. I think if they can give us like some sliders, or like this is the groundwork for more variety in face types and stuff,
Mhm.
and like making things bigger or smaller. It doesn't just have to be butt sliders, guys. It can be like
Ooh,
cheek
But
size, not butt cheeks. Actual.
But
I-
please don't forget the butt sliders. We need those.
We do need we need butts and thigh sliders. For
super
sure.
quick. Are either of you upset about the change to the female Viera nose?
No, I actually thought it was cute.
I honestly, I don't play a female Viera, so I didn't notice it.
I
Alright.
thought that the
It went
change.
from being a muzzle to being a more human nose, basically.
What they've done is they made the like dark color more blend in better. Like they made everything blend more. So like all like blushes on cheeks, and like they gave everybody lip shine and nose shine, which if you know my art style, you know that I am all upon that. But I was literally like, everybody's getting highlighter and lip gloss. I'm like, yeah. But what I like the change to the Viera nose. The boy nose looked really cute. They have like a really obvious shine, and the girl nose, I thought it looked more natural. It's like it didn't look like, hello, yes, I have been hit in the face with a spray can of brown on my nose. It looked like my nose kind of darkens as it gets towards the bottom, and then it has a slightly pink underside. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm down with that. And it's shiny. Everybody's shiny. Everybody's been in the grease pits where I put them.
Why would you put them in there? Nope.
To make them shiny and wrestle. They can wrestle in there.
Brandon, anything for you from FanFest that we haven't talked about?
Nothing we haven't talked about. Mostly excited for, as usual, I want to know where the hell the story's going. I want to know what Viper and Pictomancer's stories are like. I want to know what all the weird side content stories are going to be. I'm a story guy, and we're obviously not going to get a whole lot of details about that at FanFest. So this is all pretty much just teasing. So that's what I've got to look forward to.
I'm very excited to meet the Pictomancer trainer, and I really hope that Kryle is actually part of like the Pictomancer job quest, because
Yes.
I want to hang out with Kryle.
I'm taking her into every duty support dungeon. I don't care.
I know that she looks like how we've known her in the trailer, but do either of you agree with my prediction that by the end of the launch MSQ, Kryle's in an entirely different outfit? I don't know if she's going to be in Pictomancer job.
She's in a new outfit in the trailer. She's got her iconic hood on, but her whole outfit's different. Like she has a little Pictomancer. Yeah, she's got pants, and she's got like a little sort of Pictomancer top on.
I guess I wasn't paying enough attention.
Yeah, I'm guessing we'll see her new outfit at the end of the patch content, or we have already. Given the,
or she's gonna she's gonna show up, being like, "Hey guys," when we're getting on the boat, I bet to leave, she's gonna like come out of the back, like, "Hey guys."
Yeah, I think you're probably right in that regard too.
Well, yeah, I love her little outfit because I love that she didn't take off the cat ears, that she keeps her personality. Even though I love her hair, and I think her curly hair is the cutest. I love the fact that she kept her hood. But
I do hope you're correct that she shows up in the job storyline, because it's really, really disconcerting that Alice doesn't for Red Mage. But I would honestly not be surprised if she doesn't.
But Zaroon talks about Alice. Like he acknowledges
he does. But I just wish she would have shown up like, oh, hey, you're about to go rescue this girl from these evil mages. All right, yeah, I'm gonna help with that.
Mm-hmm. It would be cute, and it would be. But I feel like, if you're doing the Red Mage quests like at level, you don't really know Alice yet.
That is a good point. It is hard to pull off, because I mean it shows up at level 50, but they're also not locked behind. Needing to be in a Stormwood city. No, it's 50.
Is it?
Oh, it is. Yeah, because it is. I promise you.
Now that I've actually taken a look at it, it is even in game, like the 6.55 teaser image that they put up. They already showed what she looks like in game, and the outfit is definitely different.
So yeah, she's probably going to show up in that outfit during the patch MSQ.
It really reminds me of like a tactics outfit, and I love that for her. I love it. I love that, like, they didn't just stick her in, like, Pictomancer gear. They, like, made a special little Cryo Pictomancer.
It's kind of like a hybrid of Pictomancer, but still Cryo.
Like, it's got her blue and yellow color scheme, and it's got her little cat ear hood, and I think she even has, like, the same boots on. Like, not breaking those boots, and she's not breaking in new boots, okay? We're doing a lot of walking this expansion, I'm sure. See.
All right. Well,
I'm obsessed with any, like, character detail that changes, so I was, like, instantly like, new outfit for Cryo! And also, I own her old outfit on my Catgirl. So, Catgirl hood on my Catgirl. It goes really well with, like, the adventuring sweater with, like, the scarf over it. You can dye it a certain yellow, and the scarf will match the hood. It looks really cute. Beachy Dub, a little transmog tip for you there.
Good to know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're going to call it a show for now. Next episode should be fairly eventful because I'm giving you both homework. Try to get anime bullshit done so we can talk about Hildebrand.
Clicky clacky.
Yeah. Sorry. Let him word. He bought me this fucking keyboard. I cannot do anything subtly.
Mechanical keyboards are the best.
I'm
you can hear it whenever I stream. You just hear.
Definitely looking forward to the end of the Hildebrand stuff, and can't wait to see the internet's reaction to the relics. Not only like whether, no matter how easy or how hard it is to get, how these relics look is important.
Yeah. Absolutely, because it's like, all right, am I going to farm tomestones to get those last pieces or not?
Yeah, I'm very curious what they're going to look like, because, like, this is it, man. This is supposed to be the big shiny.
If the red mage relic is a glow other than red, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Yep. Also, can we please not bring those greenish yellow glows back? Those were terrible.
Yeah. I kind of hope that it'll have, like, a dyeable glow, but that never happens.
I mean, it did with the deep dungeon gear, but yeah.
Yeah.
That would be cool. A dyeable glow for relics would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That would be pretty great.
Yeah, I think it would get more people to jump on it. Although I feel like this is going to be the relic that everybody does because it's so easy.
Yeah.
And, oh lord, don't gotta do no Boja. Oh, I'm having flashbacks. It was just that freaking music, man. It's like, I'm like, no!
I love Wind in the Plains. I don't know what your problem is.
Oh, God. It's just constant. And it was like, I don't know, just that, like, running across, like, a wasteland. Also getting murdered by red chocobos. I feel like
that was bad.
That's a joke that, like, new players don't get when like a red chocobo shows up and everybody freaks out. They're like, I'm like, no. That was the end of us.
When the Fire Nation attacked, when the red chocobos attacked.
When Fire Chocobos came for
when
us.
the Chocobo Nation attacked.
Yeah. All right. Until episode 48, Brandon, where can people find you?
You can find me over on pretty much everywhere at the BMAT, THEBMATT. Just don't look for me on X because hell no, I ain't going to that place no more. You can also catch me over on +5 to Hit, which is a D&D podcast that Ro is returning to the GM spot as we pick up our Rime of the Frost Maiden campaign.
Oh, you guys are going to die.
I suspect you're going to kill me, given what I've been asking you for over the past couple of days.
He wants a new car.
Always a good time for murder.
Yep.
That's my new catchphrase, apparently.
I just asked to change my subclass. Why am I getting killed?
You could change your subclass. The downside is you have to be reincarnated.
Ah.
Negan, how about you?
I'm Cat Mom Megan, all one word, and my name is spelled Meagan. You can find me on X, but I only pretty much post when I'm going live on Twitch on there. Otherwise, you find me on Blue Sky, on Tumblr, on TikTok, on everything. And I stream Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific until 5 p.m. Pacific. So if you want to stop by, that would be great. I also have a webtoon called Pickup Group to Another World. If you just go to Webtoon and search for Pickup Group to Another World, you'll find it. I also have links to that on all my other stuff. So, yeah.
There's a new episode that just went up there now with less butt cheek.
Yeah, 50% less butt cheek. It's now great, and now it's family friendly. Don't worry about all the F-bombs, and don't worry about the boobs, but I censored the butt. So it's great. It's fine now. You could show it on the Disney Channel. I'm also currently working on a new VTubing model. I've been doing a lot of drawing on stream because I spilled juice on my gaming mouse and I broke it.
Oh no!
So I can't. I right now my mouse I can't scroll. The scroll wheel's broken, but this is my replacement one. Because this is like my ancient gaming mouse that I used to play World of Warcraft with. My other mouse would just randomly like pop the cursor like all the way off the screen, and I'd have to like scroll it back again. So that's not good. It's dead now. It lasted me like 5 years. But yeah, so it's been like, well, I can't game. I don't have a mouse, so I'm just going to draw.
Seems like only yesterday I did that exact same thing to my keyboard, but it's been, almost a year at this point.
Yeah, Bonbon was doing something insane, and I went, Bonbon, no, and swiveled my chair around, and just a whole cup of juice just straight on the mouse.
Bonbon, no. Bonbon, yes.
She wishes she could do that. That's her internal monologue, but
yeah, exactly. That's
out loud.
That's all in her head, but it's there.
But then out loud, she's just like.
That's what happens when you translate it into cat.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
As for myself, you can find me currently on X at Podcaster Row. That's Podcaster RHO. You can find me on Twitch at Row WCR. You can also check us out on the Bonus Roll Productions Discord. You can get there by going to bonusroll.gg. You can email us at podcastreborn@gmail.com. I said it last episode. I'm going to mention it again this episode. If you want a code for 60 days of game time, come up with a Final Fantasy XIV dad joke that has not appeared anywhere, an original one that Brandon thinks is funny enough to say on the show. And if we read yours first on the show, you will get a 60-day game time card. I've not seen anything worthy yet. And I got 2 submissions that I found elsewhere on the internet. So fair warning, I do my research. This has to be original.
Mm-hmm.
But a podcastreborn@gmail.com. You can follow us on X at A Podcast Reborn, and I already mentioned Bonus Roll Productions. The theme music this time is the new full complete Dawntrail trailer music by Husky by the Geek. A link to his YouTube channel will be included in the show notes, of course. And that music and any other derivatives of Final Fantasy music you hear on this podcast belongs to Square Enix, and no copyright infringement is intended. And that's going to do it for episode 47. For Megan, for Brandon, and of course for Rare Scotch and Bonbon, this is Brian Black. Until next time, may your loot rolls be high, your glamour fantastic, and your duties always complete. Brandon?
Before we get into the dad joke, that Husky cover just freaking slaps. I love it so much. Now, on to the question. How does a non-binary samurai kill their foes? They/them.
It's dumber the more you think about it.
It really is.
They/them. Yep. Good stuff. Goodbye, everybody.